So today we are going to discuss about the cascading parameters in SSRS. So what exactly the cascading parameters? The cascading parameters means, for example, I have three parameters in my report. Okay. So one parameter is category parameter and another parameter is subcategory and the third parameter is product, right? So because in my business we have a lot of products and some of the products are belongs to some subcategories and some of the product subcategories belongs to a category. So this is the hierarchy, same like a particular territory or a particular country. So under each country we have some states, under each state we have cities, right? So when we are creating this SSRS report, if you are selecting a particular country, so the second parameter drop down values will depends on the first parameter value. Okay, for example, if we are selecting the parameter value for the country is India, in the drop down of the state parameter I want to display only the states related to India only. I don't want to display all the states. Okay, that is cascading. The second parameter is depends on the first parameter selection, so that is cascading. Okay, so how to create this cascading in SSRS report? Yes, normally we can create this cascading in the SSRS report by using a SQL Server as your data source. It's very easy, but when your data source is a analysis services cube database, so you have to write down the MDX, right? So how can we do this by using MDX query? Okay, so I have a cube. Okay, so the cube name is AdventureWorks cube. Okay, so this is my source database and I want to create a report from this AdventureWorks. So how to create SSRS report? You just go to SQL Server Data Tools. I want to create a one SSRS project. So you just take the new project. Or already I have one project, that is a cube report. I want to use the same project. Okay, right, so I want to create a new report. So these are all the reports already created, right? So when we are going to create a project, when we are going to create a new report, so first we have to create one data source connection in your shared data source connection level. Okay, so already I have a connection, that is SSAS.RDS. So I just open this connection and I will show you. Okay, so this is the connection information now I have created, and the data source you have to take Microsoft SQL Server Analysis Services, right? Okay, so I have the connection. Now I want to create a new report. Add new item, that is a report item you have to take. So this is the report name I want to give, Cascading Report. Add it. So under report data, so just go to view, go to report data, you have to create the data source. So what is your data source? I want to use the shared data source connection. So if you want to know more detail about how to create SSRS report with this shared data source connection, what is the embedded connection, so you just watch my previous videos. So you can select one of the shared data source connection, SSAS. Click OK. Now I want to create a data set. Just add data set. I use the data set embedded in my report. The data set name I want to give main data set. Okay. So the source is data source 1, and so see here, for normal SQL server this will enable. If your data source is a normal data source SQL server, it will enable. But here we are using our data source as a SQL server analysis services cube. So how can you write down the query? So you have to write down the MDX query. But in 2012, you no need to write down any MDX query. So you can go to query designer. See here, the cube is this one. So this is the cube we are going to browse over here. Okay, right. So what fields you want to take to design the report? So under measures, I want to take the internet sales amount. See, you just drag and drop over here. And under dimensions, I want to take under the product. So what is the category? I have 3 categories, and the next one is what is the subcategory, just drag and drop, and what is the product, just drag and drop. Okay, so these are the fields we are getting. So now just click on this query designer. So it will form a query, MDX query. You don't need to write down the MDX query. It will create the MDX query. So now we have to create 3 parameters, right? So you just click on the query parameters. What is the parameter name? Category name. And on which dimension you are going to filter this category? Product dimension. And what is the hierarchy means? On which column you are going to filter? Category column. Do you want to allow multiple values? More than one value if you want to select? Yes, you can select. I don't want to allow more than one value. So the default value what you are going to pass, I want to pass bikes as the default value. Okay. In the same way you have to create the another parameter, subcategory. Subcategory name. And this is also coming from the which dimension? Product dimension. And what is the hierarchy? Under this product dimension, that is subcategory. Where is the subcategory? Yes, this is the subcategory. I don't want to allow any multiple values, and I don't want any default value also. Okay, right. And the next one is product. Okay, product name. And what is the, again this is also coming from the product dimension. And which column you are going to filter the data? Product. Okay, so I don't want any. If you don't want any default values, you just leave it. Or if you want to create any add a default value, yes, you can add it. So for example, I want to add bike racks, and for this product I want to add chain, whatever. Okay, right. You just click OK. Right. So then click OK. It will create 3 parameters. Then click OK. See here, category, subcategory, product, internet, sales amount is coming. Under parameters, 3 parameters are created automatically. What are the parameters we have created? Okay. So now I am going to design the report. Just go to view, toolbox, take one table. Okay. And if you want to give any heading for this one, yes, you just give this one. This report name is Cascading Report. in MDX, right? So for this I want to assign the data set as main data set. So you just take the fields category, subcategory, product and internet sales amount. So I want to make this bold formatting, and this also I want to make a background color, and I want to make it bold, and the size I want to increase for the heading. Okay, right. So you just preview this report. Right, so report is created. 3 parameters. Under these parameter category name, we are getting all the categories, accessories, bikes, clothing components. Under subcategory, see, there is all the subcategories we are getting. But now my requirement is when I am selecting bikes. So under these bikes, we have for example 10 subcategories. So I want to display only those 10 subcategories. Okay, so when I am selecting these bikes, sorry, a particular subcategory, so these particular subcategory, how many products you have, those many products only I want to display under product name. Because so now it is for example here I am selecting bikes. I don't know what are the subcategories belongs to bikes. For example, if I am selecting cleaners, what will happen if you are trying to view the report? So this subcategory is not belongs to this bikes category. We don't know, right? So that is the reason we are going to drop down only the subcategories based on the whatever category you have selected over here. So how can we do this one? Right. So how many data sets we have here? Only one data set? No. So if you are coming to these 3 parameters, here for available values, there is a data set is coming, that is category name. Where is this data set? And for subcategory name also, there is one data set is created, subcategory name. Because for this drop down list, it is creating 3 data sets, right? So where is these 3 data sets? So by default those 3 data sets are hidden. So you have to show the hidden data sets. You just right click on the data set, show hidden data sets. See here, now it is displaying. If you want to hide it, yes, you can hide it. So this is subcategory, this is the product name, and this is the category. These 3 are the data sets for 3 parameters for drop down purpose. This is this one, and this is this one, and this is this one. How can you open these 3 data sets? You just right click on the data set, show hidden data sets. Now what we want to do, whenever this subcategory name data set, okay, whenever this subcategory name data set is going to fetch the values, I want to filter whatever the parameter value you have selected in the category name parameter. So for that what we have to do, we have to filter this query. Okay, same like for example, if you are going to connect a SQL server, go to AdventureWorks, new query, select star from product under database. Where is the product table? Right, dim product. So under this table we have English product names, and we have a relationship with the subcategory and category. So if you want to get a particular subcategory items, so you have to write down the where condition and where category ID equal to a particular one. So the same thing, if you are coming here, in this subcategory data set, we have to apply the where condition, right? So first take this one, this subcategory name query, this MDX query. You just copy, okay, just paste over here. So if you are formatting this one, so the first one is one calculated member, okay, and the second one, so there are three calculated members we have, and this is the final query. Okay, right. So now we have to add a parameter. What parameter? Category name parameter. Okay, so this parameter value we have to add in this query. So how can you add this one? So we have to write down the query like this way. Select string to set at the rate of category name comma constraint on column from AdventureWorks database. Okay, columns, right? So what I have added, so initially this query is taking the data from AdventureWorks, right? So instead of taking the data from direct AdventureWorks, so I have filtered data inside from the AdventureWorks, only the information related to the category name. For example, if you are selecting this category value as bikes, so it will take the data of the subcategories only related to these bikes. Okay, right. So you just copy this one and go to subcategory query and go to query designer, just override this one. Okay, right. So now I'm going to execute this one. See, there is an error is coming because the category name parameter which is not declared. So what you have to do, you have to add a parameter, query parameters. What is the parameter name? Category name. So the same parameter name we have to add whatever we are mentioned inside the query. Okay, so this is small, right? So you have to put caps. So I want to change over here also, because the parameter name you have to give in all the places same. Whatever the parameter name you have here, the same name you have to give over here, and whatever the name you have given, so whenever you are going to add, the same name we have to give. Category name. Okay, so this is product, and on which column we are going to filter? Category, right? So the default value you can give, bikes I want to give, click OK, right? Click OK. So now I want to see, now it is taking only the subcategory items belongs to bikes. Okay, click OK. Click OK. So now you can preview it. See, if I am selecting accessories, so all the products subcategories are displaying only related to accessories only. If I am selecting bikes, so only subcategory items belongs to bikes only display. It is cascading, right? So the same thing I want to apply for product name also. So how can we apply? So you just go to, see, under product name it is displaying all the products. I don't want to display all the products. Just go to design. Now take the product name query, copy this one, okay. So just format it. Here also you have to format it. Okay. So you just remove this adventure works here. Here we have to filter the subcategory name parameter. What is the parameter name? This is the parameter name. Just replace it at the rate. Okay, the same query just copy and put inside the product name parameter dataset. Go to query designer. Okay, and you have to create a parameter. The parameter name is, sorry, what is the parameter name? The parameter name is subcategory name, and the dimension is product dimension only. Hierarchy is, what is the column name? Subcategory. Okay, if you want to give any default value, just give it. Click OK. Click OK. Click OK. So just see the preview. Right. So the default value we have given is bikes. For example, if I am selecting clothing, the subcategory for this clothing, it is displaying only the bib short, caps, gloves. These subcategory items belongs to clothing. If I am selecting bikes, what are the subcategories under bikes? Only these three. If I am selecting road bikes, what are the products belongs to this subcategory? Only these. If I am changing this one, touring bikes, what are the products? Only these. Okay, so in this way we can do the cascading in MDX. Okay, thanks for watching the video.